Straight ahead in this week's Working Woman Report, they're turning the face of childcare upside down by providing all-in-one play spaces for growing families. Meet the two women who are sowing the seeds of success, one toddler at a time. Plus, her secret recipes have been passed down for generations. See how this working woman is relying on her historic past to build a very sweet future. And this tough-as-nails builder has designed, created, and sold high-end homes to celebrities for years. Find out how she's making it her mission to help everyday people redesign their lives. What's your idea? If you're ready to change your life and start making your passion work for you, listen up. The Working Woman Report is here to help, and it starts right now. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Allison Hans. We begin this week with the story of two women who share a first name and a mission. This dynamic duo came up with an idea for kids which they carefully planted several years ago. They're now sharing their seeds of success with the rest of the world.
You have twins?
When moms Allison Schlanger and Allison Berna met in a neighborhood music class 7 years ago, their lives changed.
I think when you say immediately, I think we knew immediately that there was something there. We had a lot in common right off the bat.
Both moms were raising twins in an area of New York City where, besides the neighborhood park, there were few places where kids could safely run around and play.
There were not many options.
So they decided to create a place where children could explore in a safe, clean, fun environment. Soon, Apple Seeds was born.
Within a couple months' time, we had found a space that we loved, and we had started branding the business, and we were having weekly meetings at our apartment after the kids were asleep. We were calling them founders meetings. To this day, we still call them founders meetings.
The unique indoor playground created by a well-known children's museum designer offers more than 100 classes a week in everything ranging from music to art to science. Nothing is overlooked.
So the idea is that it's a community center, that you would come to Apple Seeds and be able to spend almost an entire day here. You can play in the playground, you can take a class, you can have a snack in our snack bar.
Let me say.
But before starting the business, the women had a few issues to contend with. They lived in a neighborhood that wasn't traditionally residential. They knew what they needed as moms, but would the demographics behind the neighborhood hold up? Would there be enough people who would want to come and pay to play?
We were very nervous beforehand, and we made a conservative business model, to be honest with you. And within the first year, we were able to meet our goals for our conservative business model, and we exceed those goals. But we were very satisfied when we hit those goals early on.
Not only did people come, they didn't stop coming. People pay for yearly memberships for the indoor playground or individual classes. Apple Seeds has expanded exponentially. They now have 2 locations in New York, a location in the Middle East, another in India, and another is set to launch in Mexico City. And though their 4 oldest, the twins, have aged out of the play space, their 7-year-olds still roam the halls and loiter at the front desk on a daily basis.
The biggest struggles of working women today, and I think will always be, is the work-life balance. I think that although we are fortunate to have the flexibility, that we own a space that was built for our kids and other kids, and we bring our kids here, and we are our own bosses, and we could come and go as we need to, there's still a lot of work to be done inside and outside of the home, and you want to be everywhere. And I think it's a tough balance.
Both Allisons say they wouldn't be where they are without the support of their husbands. Both men are true partners in the business, both inside and outside the home. For more information on all that Apple Seeds has to offer, just head to our website, workingwomanreport.com. Our next working woman is no stranger to the struggle of striking that work-life balance, and she's made it her business to help other women find it. Her company connects women around the world, all in an effort to inspire them to help each other through those times when life gets overwhelming. As a traveling concert pianist and creator of her own organic skincare line, Angela Giakim was already considered a success. But to Angela, those accomplishments were launching pads to something even bigger,
something that could have a profound effect on the lives of women everywhere.
It's all up here, you know? If you think you can, you can. And if you surround yourself with women who think they can and think you can, then you can. Like, you're basically unstoppable.
It was that attitude that helped Angela launch an organization known as Savor the Success.
Savor the Success is the premium network for women entrepreneurs and executives, and our mission is to empower and inspire women leaders to really change the world through their leadership, their work, their businesses.
And a little jumping and jiving is just part of the fun and part of the community spirit seen here at one of the organization's two-day conferences. With the title of Rock the World, how could you not root for this confidence-boosting, career-inspiring event?
Rock the World is really about gathering the movers, shakers, and influencers around the world in one room so that we can get energized and inspired by each other's movements, missions, forward motion, because we're stronger together than apart.
It's the organization's strength that has people flocking to the website to sign up for Savor the Success groups. But it's the accomplishments that follow which keep members coming back for more.
My biggest hope is that it will go worldwide and that we will have 1 million members.
And she's well on her way. With hundreds of top-level women executives, the community of success just keeps on growing.
To learn more about Savor the Success, simply log onto our website, workingwomanreport.com. There's plenty more ahead in this week's Working Woman Report. We'll meet a home builder and designer who is magically making over the lives of her clients one kitchen at a time. Plus, we'll introduce you to the woman who had the courage to walk away from an abusive relationship and relaunch her career. And find out how this woman's history has turned into a recipe for one very sweet future. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Working Woman Report. I'm Allison Hans. We continue with the story of one woman who launched her business during one of the most tumultuous times in her life. To the outside world, she was a mother of 3, living a picture-perfect life, at least until she broke her silence about an abusive marriage that was falling apart because of drugs and alcohol. She says the support she received after sharing her secret is what boosted her to become the woman, mother, and successful business owner she is today.
Inside Marie Wendorf's Connecticut boutique, Witchy Poo, you'll find the most beautiful and affordable finds, including brightly colored enamel jewelry, knitted scarves, handbags, and unique accessories for a day at the beach or a night on the town. Marie personally finds and collects the items and then sells them in her store.
These are the greatest little chandelier earrings.
The bright and cheery, and yes, very pink decor is reminiscent of a child's bedroom and evokes the sweetness and innocence of youth. A far cry from where Marie was at in her life just a few years ago, when she says her husband's drug and alcohol-fueled lifestyle spun out of control.
All I wanted, like any other girl out there, was to live happily ever after. So anything he told me of how much better he was going to make it, I hung on to, and hook, line, and sinker. And eventually I just, really just realized that it was all lies and it was never going to get better, and he was just constantly going to disappoint me and disappoint the children.
Sometimes her husband would go missing for a night, sometimes days, but it was always the same. He was out using and didn't show up.
It's almost like being possessed by the devil. There's no other way to describe it. It took a hold of his life, and it became the most important thing to him. And the most important thing to me was obviously my husband and my children. And when I realized he was really never, ever, ever going to get better, I did not want my children to grow up in the heartache and disappointment that he was giving to me.
It was after a trip to the emergency room she decided she had had enough.
It was a terrible night. It was like cold and raining. It was the summer, but it was one of these crazy nights where the rain was, you couldn't even drive. And I came back to my in-laws' house where I was staying because it was such a crazy night. We didn't know what was happening with him. And I saw my 4-month-old baby in a bassinet, and my 22 or 24-month-old son in a crib, and my 6-year-old son in a bed. And I thought, oh, good God, I have to do this all by myself. And how on earth am I going to do it? And at the same time, as my world was crushing down, thinking, how am I going to do it? I thought, how can I not do it? And that was it. I had to fix everything that he destroyed.
Fixing that life did not come overnight. After divorcing her husband, who by this point had lost his seat on the stock exchange and no real financial support, her picture-perfect house was foreclosed upon. She moved into this 1-bedroom apartment above a store in Wilton and began selling her jewelry finds at trunk shows and craft fairs. When the tenant downstairs moved out, Witchy Poo moved in and was officially born. And Marie was reborn.
The sickest part about it is that I didn't even know I was in an abusive relationship until I went to therapy. And I just kept telling the girl what a great guy my ex-husband was. He was just in a bad situation. And she gave me a questionnaire that just asked me, like, I don't know, 100 questions about my relationship with him. And she just said, just go home and do it. She sort of was cute and nice and just listened to me. And I went home one night when it was quiet, and I did it. And I scored a 97 on it, which was the highest score I ever got on any test I ever took in my life, which is sad. And it told me that I was in a dangerously abusive relationship.
Today, besides running the shop, she's an advocate for women in abusive relationships. She has spoken on the Oprah Winfrey Show, at the State of Connecticut General Assembly, and was even named one of the top 5 most influential women in Westchester and Fairfield County. She finds strength in sharing her experiences and lending advice to women who might be in a similar situation.
The only thing that can change is you, the person that's in that abusive relationship. And the only way you can change is if you leave that person, and you can change your life, and you can change your kid's life, and your life will be so much better.
For more information on drug and alcohol addiction or how to break free from an abusive relationship, please log on to our website, workingwomanreport.com. On the website, you'll find the questionnaire Marie referred to that can help you or a loved one recognize if you are in an abusive relationship. Well, our next working woman proves you shouldn't be afraid of changing careers. She started out as a banker, but with 3 young children at home, she decided she wanted a life that revolved around her family and not her job. So she left the banking industry and turned to her Greek family history to launch her very own baking business.
The recipes for her gourmet delicacies have been handed down from generation to generation. And now Sophia O'Connell is celebrating and sharing her proud Greek history through her own company, Sweets by Stella. Stella was her mother's name.
They're family recipes. They originated in Asia Minor. That's where my grandparents were from. They emigrated to Greece. That's where my mother was born. She emigrated here, and that's where I was born.
Sophia says it's hard not to think about her yaya, that's Greek for grandmother, when she's carefully preparing the handcrafted cookies and desserts, which include kataifi, biscotti, and baklava.
I miss her, and this reminds me of her when I do it.
The recipes originated in the areas surrounding the northeastern Aegean, where Greece borders Turkey along the southern tip of the Mediterranean. Recipes were never written down, they were just passed down by years of hands-on apprenticeships in the kitchen, from grandmother to mother, from mother to daughter. It was always a little bit of this and a glass of that. Sophia says the business has not been without its challenges. Between advertising, proper packaging, and making sure the product gets from point A to point Z in perfect condition has been an experience. But she feels pretty confident she's conquered those issues.
So after an hour, you take it out of the oven.
You can smell it.
Oh, smells delicious.
Ultimately, she hopes that one day her children can pass along to their children and grandchildren not only what she's taught them about cooking, but even more importantly, what she's taught them about family.
I just wanted to be successful. Now, I know that everybody defines success differently. I just want to be happy with what I do, and I want to be able to show them that they can do what they put their mind to doing.
If you'd like to learn more about Sweets by Stella, just check out our website, workingwomanreport.com. We're just getting started here at the Working Woman Report. Coming up next, home improvement takes on a whole new meaning as we meet the woman inspiring people to make their own lifestyle changes, big and small. Plus, need a kick in the you-know-what to get your business moving? We head to Business Boot Camp for some motivation. Those stories and much more still ahead. Welcome back to the Working Woman Report. I'm Allison Hans. Our next working woman is tough as nails when it comes to building. She uses her keen eye for design to create peaceful and luxurious environments. Her mission is to build and design creations that help people, especially women, draw power from their surroundings.
For Connecticut home builder and designer Sabine Schoenberg, the physical environment we live in is crucial to the way we think. She believes that by changing your physical environment, you can actually improve your inner self. She's obviously created an extraordinarily peaceful and grand environment at her home, which we visited in Greenwich, Connecticut.
I'm enthusiastic about design. Good design is so important, but knowing how to put the parts together is a whole other experience, and one where people tend to get very frustrated at times.
Sabine is founder of Sabine'sHomes.com, a rapidly growing company which provides in-depth information on home design and home goods. Her many years of designing, building, and selling high-end homes has made her an expert in a field dominated by men.
The whole world of building is still very male-dominant, no doubt. I was usually surrounded by 50, 100 different men in various crews, so I was the woman on the site, basically the only woman on the site.
Sabine's passion for home design began at an early age. She decorated and redecorated her room frequently, experimenting with layouts, colors, and objects found in and around the village in Germany where she grew up.
This is the whole pool area. This is really outdoor living in New England. I mean, we're in the summertime, this is where you find us.
After completing her art and design studies at Pratt Institute, Sabine purchased an old farmhouse. Instead of unpacking the moving boxes, she started to gut floor after floor, solder pipes, and install new electrical supplies and finish walls herself. The paint had hardly dried when a passerby asked to purchase the home. She was off to the next project, and the rest is history.
Running a project as a woman is a very different experience. So in my book, Kitchen Magic, I actually give tips for women, especially for women, how they can make their project go a lot faster and better.
One of those tips include being firm with the people whom you're working with and establish your authority. She recalled the time she started serving coffee to work crews. It sounds like a simple gesture, but she says something changed on the work site.
Well, unfortunately, that was completely taken advantage of. And from that moment on, I became the mother instead of the boss on the site. Big problem. And I could never really regain the boss position that I really needed to run the project.
While it's unlikely many of us will be running a work site anytime soon, Sabine says the principles of taking charge and drawing a line remain in many situations.
My big advice to women is always be a little bossy. Really pick up the reins and draw sort of a line. Keep a little bit of distance, which men don't have to do, but women very much have to do.
She also encourages women to look for simple changes they can make in the home that will give their life a new spark.
I really want to shake people up and say, you know, look at your physical environment. Maybe there's some changes here or there that you can make. So instead of going what I call mental inertia and just sort of being in that zone of, you know, being in the same old kitchen that you've been living in, maybe there are a few changes that you can make that kind of reinvigorate the space and also in return your life.
Sabine says small changes that can make a big difference include changing the backsplash in your kitchen or installing rolling drawers so you can actually find your pots and pans and stay organized. For more tips and information on Sabine's book, Kitchen Makeovers, just log on to our website, workingwomanreport.com. Whether they're homes, buildings, or commercial complexes, all signs lead to more women hammering their way into top positions in the construction industry. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the profession of construction management is expected to grow by 26% by the year 2018. Women who do step into the traditionally male-dominated industry may find their communication and problem-solving skills are a good fit for management jobs, since they often require dealing with customers and personnel issues. To learn more, just check out our website, workingwomanreport.com. Well, if you're interested in getting involved in building your career in construction or another industry, but you're unsure how to get the funds or need someone to light a fire in your spirit to make it happen, our next working woman can help whip you into shape. Take a look at how her small business boot camp is getting results for women looking to turn their great ideas into reality.
At first glance, the Small Business Boot Camp for Women may seem like a tame gathering of ladies. But spend 30 minutes with its founder, Toni Coleman Brown, and you'll realize that this is a woman on a mission.
Our mission is threefold. It's to train, connect, and advance women in business.
After several years of a successful career in corporate America, Toni decided to leave the confines of her desk and strike out on her own. She became an author, business coach, and motivational speaker. In 2012, she finally fulfilled a lifelong dream of helping women business owners worldwide by launching the Network for Women in Business.
We have a motto that we educate to elevate women in business. So basically what I've been doing over the past year and a half is bringing together a lot of expert trainers, coaches, and speakers with our membership and connecting them with fabulous information to help them grow their business.
The Small Business Boot Camp is an extension of that network, a one-day opportunity to create a no-nonsense plan to grow your business.
So a lot of women just think of a great name, think of a great brand, and they just decide to go out with it without doing the proper due diligence. They could be using the brand or a trademark of somebody else's, and in 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 years, could be told that they need to stop using that mark, and that's devastating.
The topics of marketing, branding, and social media are also subjects that are deeply examined.
You need to be where your audience is. So if you are a fashion brand, I'm definitely going to recommend Pinterest and Instagram. Why? Because they're visually based mediums.
While the one-day workshop helps women gain perspective on how to launch, market, and grow their business, what's really special about the event are the meaningful connections and friendships that develop over being in the trenches together, trying to achieve success.
Here are 5 tips from Toni to help small business owners. First, make sure you know who your ideal customer is. This allows you to focus your marketing efforts and ultimately saves you time and money. Second, be sure to allocate at least 30 to 40% of your budget on efforts to gain new customers and clients. Third, hire a good accountant and schedule monthly meetings to keep tabs on your company's financial health. Number 4, outsource. Many businesses fail because owners try to do it all on their own. Avoid burnout and focus on doing what you love by outsourcing what you can. And finally, set up your business as a true business from day one. Decide if you'll run an LLC, S Corp, or C Corp, and keep your business and personal finances separate. To learn more about the Network for Women in Business, simply log on to our website, workingwomanreport.com. Well, that wraps up this edition of the Working Woman Report. Be sure to connect with us in the social media world. You'll find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, there's always our website, workingwomanreport.com. Tune in next time for more inspiring tips and ideas from our fantastic women. Who knows? Maybe you're next. See you then.